As the 21st century comes ever closer, science fiction more and more seems to become science fact. Something we'll discover this week as we visit the Triumf Cyclotron at UBC. Good evening and welcome to Red's Classic Theater. Triumf is Canada's subatomic research facility. And without becoming too technical, we'll show you around Triumf, try and explain the cyclotron and how it works and the equipment involved. Our movie this week is a vision of the 21st century as depicted over 50 years ago. In the 1936 sci-fi classic Things to Come, starring Raymond Massey and Ralph Richardson. The story was adapted from the novel The Shape of Things to Come by H.G. Wells. Filmed in England, the production was supervised by Alexander Korda, with his brother Vincent Korda creating the stunning futuristic sets. And now here's Act One of Things to Come. We're visiting the Triumf Research Center at the University of British Columbia this week on Red's Classic Theater. Triumf was built over a 6-year period between 1968 and 1974 and houses the world's largest cyclotron. The cyclotron features 6 giant magnets arranged in a pinwheel pattern. Now, these photos taken during construction give you an idea of how large the magnets are. What the cyclotron does is accelerate hydrogen ions to about 75% of the speed of light, fast enough to take you to the moon in 2 seconds. Intense beams of protons are then directed out of the cyclotron. In the course of operation, short-lived particles called pions are generated. The point of the exercise is to allow scientists to probe the structure of matter. And while the pure science practice at Triumf is hard to explain, there are many resulting practical applications. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Among the achievements of Triumf is a major breakthrough in cancer therapy using pions. Pions created by the cyclotron can be focused inside deep-seated tumors, where they release all of their energy and destroy certain types of cancer cells. Triumf is one of only 2 centers in the world where pion beams are used to destroy brain cancers in human patients. And now back to our movie, Things to Come. Hope you're enjoying Red's Classic Theater featuring Things to Come, just one of several movies based on the works of forward-thinking author H.G. Wells. In 1933, Claude Rains starred in Wells' entertaining science fantasy, The Invisible Man. An updated version of the movie was recently released, this time with Chevy Chase in the title role. Another sci-fi classic was H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. The radio version, produced by Orson Welles, was so realistic it actually caused widespread panic. The 1953 motion picture of the story starred Gene Barry, plus Oscar award-winning special effects. Wells himself possessed a brilliant scientific mind, combined with a vivid imagination. He foresaw the use of airplanes, tanks, and even atomic bombs in warfare. But he was hardly obsessed with violence. As a matter of fact, H.G. Wells believed in a planned world socialist state. And before his death in 1946, he drafted up a universal charter of human rights for the United Nations. And now back to Things to Come. We're here on the main floor of the cyclotron here at the University of British Columbia, and time for our mailbag and some of the requests you nice folks have been sending in. Therese Samard Thoreau would like to see With a Song in My Heart, starring Susan Hayward and David Wayne. And Frank Walter from Coquitlam, he'd like to see 2 Years Before the Mast. Now that starred Alan Ladd. Now if there's a motion picture you'd like to see or the suggestion of a location, such as Triumf here at UBC, write to yours truly, Red Robinson, KBUS TV in Vancouver. We look forward to your requests. Now join us next Sunday night for Paul Newman, Joanne Woodward, and an all-star cast in the 1958 drama, The Long Hot Summer. And 2 weeks from tonight, join us for Romance in Rome with 3 Coins in the Fountain, starring Clifton Webb and Dorothy McGuire. And now let's get back to our sci-fi classic, Things to Come. Hope you're enjoying the 1936 science fiction movie Things to Come on Red's Classic Theater as we come to you from Triumf at UBC. Fans of science fiction have had much to enjoy with the many films produced over the past 40 years. One of the best remembered is The Day the Earth Stood Still from 20th Century Fox. Michael Rennie starred as an alien visitor who came to Earth with a message of peace and a 10-foot robot named Gort. Another favorite was Forbidden Planet, starring Walter Pidgeon and a young, serious-looking Leslie Nielsen. Invasion of the Body Snatchers was a truly disturbing movie about aliens who take over the bodies of local citizens. Actor Kevin McCarthy was the only normal person left in this one. Fantastic Voyage reversed the usual course of science fiction movies by dealing with inner space. To repair a medical problem, a surgical team and submarine are miniaturized and injected into a scientist's bloodstream. The movie was based on a book by Isaac Asimov. And now back to our movie, Things to Come. From the control room of the Triumph Cyclotron here at UBC, it's time for our movie trivia quiz. In addition to H.G. Wells, there was another 19th century science fiction novelist who had his works made into motion pictures. Can you name him? We'll be back with the answer in just a moment. Here's the answer to our movie trivia quiz. The other 19th century novelist who had his works put into motion pictures was Jules Verne. Like H.G. Wells, Verne was born to a life of science, but expressed his ideas in exciting stories. His novel, 5 Weeks in a Balloon, became the basis for the movie Around the World in 80 Days, starring David Niven. And Verne also had his story, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, made into a movie by Walt Disney, starring James Mason and Kirk Douglas. And now let's return to Things to Come. Well, that's a wrap for this week's edition of Red's Classic Theater. Hope you enjoyed Things to Come, starring Raymond Massey and Ralph Richardson. Now, be sure to join us next Sunday night for The Long, Hot Summer. Now, this stars Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward in their first movie together. In the meantime, if there's a motion picture you'd like to see, please drop us a note. Red Robinson, KBOS TV in Vancouver. We'll also take your suggestions for locations. We'd like to take this opportunity of thanking Michael LeBroy and Krish Theroux for hosting our visit here to Triumph at UBC. Now, if you'd like to visit Triumph at UBC, you can. Call this number, 222-1047. That's 222-1047. And be sure to join us next Sunday night for The Long, Hot Summer, starring Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward. Until then, thank you for being with us. And from UBC, good night, everybody.